And something I've never been able to do in my Jeep. Roll up a window. All right, let's see. I think we're on episode 5. Holy moly, that's a lot. So anyways, I guess episode 4, we ended after I panel bonded the roof on. And I think we just need to do a little bit of cleanup from that assembly process. And then we got to look at, today, we're going to look at fixing that gap between the window and the roll cage there in the front. You get seats in and a couple other things. So today's this episode will be about just cleaning up some of the details and hopefully to get this truck cab to a completion. I mean, it's not finished completion, but at least the assembly and construction done. So hang in there, and hopefully by the end of the day, we'll be done with that cab when we move on to something bigger. So tell you what, let's go check out how this roof looks. She's on there. Sounds like I'm in a steel drum. Because I kind of am. I need to cut these things off. Let me prep for that. Hang out right there. I'll be right back. Okay, roof was on, so if you're wondering what it looks like up here, well, it looks like a big old sheet metal. But here's the panel bond. It's all hardened, and this thing's no welding required. It's pretty easy. It's not cheap, but it's pretty easy. But you can see here's the gap I got to deal with the windshield. And that's what you got to watch today, how to figure that one out. And part of the solution's in that Amazon pack. All right, cutting out a piece of steel, and I got to trim it. Second cut. I know I got another piece of steel. The first one didn't work out. The heat from plasma actually put a little bow in it, which I could have worked with that, but then I cut it like a 1/4 inch too much on the depth for what I want to try and do up here. So, but when I was at the steel shop, I said, give me 10 feet, because I kind of anticipated this may not work. This one might not work either, I don't know. It might bode with the cold, but I'm going to use my cold cut saw. I don't know. We're going to find out. Don't know till you try. 5 feet of 120 wall angle iron with a skill saw. This one fits better. No heat in it, didn't warp. And now it's at a height I want it. Hard part, I gotta mark this thing in a way. Because see, there's an arc right here, and I want to try and mark that arc. Little arc. Now I gotta go through the brutal part of trimming that arc in manual mode. Angry grinder, man. I'm trying to rip my head off. Good thing I got the handle on here. Gotta hang on. Kickback's just terrible. All right, here's the other half. It don't look no funner. Ain't perfect, but something I can grind real quick to make it perfect. But let's take it up on the roof and see how messed up it is. Well, looky there. I got a little bobble that I can grind off over in the end. Better than that. Not too chubby. Not too chubby at all. Yeah, got that little arc in it. That's what I was going for. Little arc. Okay. Well, I think I do put the sanding wheel on the angry grinder. Do some cleanup. Then we'll cut the gasket, put it on, and see how it all kind of goes on there. I gotta figure out how to fasten it on there. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to fasten it. There are gonna be some holes and bolts and stuff like that. It goes on tight. Does that mean it won't come off easy? Yeah. Up close and personal. So the gap's right here, and then this is just the molding, standard automotive stuff. And this is gonna go here, and I'm gonna press it against the molding, carefully somewhere, somehow. And then through the roof, I'm gonna drill some hole or whatever and bolt it down. That's the idea. And cutting that angle with the cold saw, that was a hot tip. All right. Let me do some experimenting, and then I'll get back to you. All right, on closer inspection, something just didn't look right. So I reversed my theory. I went backwards. And it's a better deal. That. Oh, anyways. So I pulled the gasket off, and I just put it on the other direction. Look at this. Now that's right up against that roll bar that's under there. All that sealed up. This is the roof, so. And then here, where this rubber clings onto the top trim, when the water hits and it tries to come up here, it can't go up because there's actually like a little 16-inch lip there. It's not going to go up. And then this piece go on to here, nice and tight. So I'm going to fasten it down to the roof somehow. And so yeah, water going to hit here, try to push up. It can't push up, can't go nowhere. I mean, it can try. And then if it does get up in there, it's got that big old rubber gasket under there. And I live on the West Coast in the desert. All you get service rust out here. So you guys living in wet weather probably ain't gonna work. You're gonna probably need to put a whole bunch of silicone under here, which is possible, but my biggest problem are these holes. All right, well, new day, and I'm still thinking about that bar I'm putting for the windshield frame to the top. And flipped on it overnight, thought about it, change of plans. So let me show you here. So I have this gasket, and it's kind of bulgy here, but if I just cut this off, a 1/4 inch, it'll be all nice and smooth, look good up here. And from afar, I think the gasket on its own, let me show you. I mean, it's nice, it's smooth, it's a nice good transition going across there. Like I said, I could do a little trimming over there and that little bump would come out of there. And I think that looks just fine. I go with that. And the thing is, the gasket all by itself, it's meeting the function. Water's not going to go through it because it's super tight to the roll cage. And no air is going to go through it because it is exactly the same gasket as you have on the door seals. You don't have wind and water coming in your door, so why would it come in there? And I like form and I like function and purpose. And the thing about this piece, so originally this piece was supposed to, the gasket was going to be here and it was going to, push against the gasket. And then when I reversed it, well, that function went away. So now this just turns into more of a decorative piece. And I don't think it's that decorative. And then to attach to the roof, if I welded this in, the only way I could get the windshield frame out if it gets damaged is I'd have to cut this out. That ain't going to be good. But to get the windshield out, I don't even have to cut the roll cage because I can unbolt the hinges and I'll be able to, work it out of there without even touching the roll cage. But this thing, I think, becomes just a water trap under here, also a water trap up here. That comes down. It's not decorative as you might like it to be. More problematic. So I made a decision. I'm not going to use it. So, 2 options. I can go with just the gasket, and that's going to work just fine. Or, give me a second. Let me show you what I got. All right. I said option 1, just run it with the gasket. And here is option 2. Oh, what is that? That's the bikini top I used to run on this thing. And I put the rail in it. And look at that. It has a really nice finish because it comes up to the front of the windshield instead of having that big gap here. It's a very dirty bikini top. But it's, you can just buy these and they, for CJ5, CJ7, actually, it's a little bit long. But I actually made a full soft top I made my own soft top actually, and I didn't configure it like best top with zipper windows. I had window on a frame for the back, and you just take the whole frame and everything out, just less like the split half doors. You can take the upper window off. And I just sewed it onto the frame, and the frames would key into the tub, and it had a way to latch it. I even had a hatchback window go up and down. But yeah, this is a bikini top, and I think that gives you a really good finish. And it's more traditional, right, to old school CJ5 because they didn't come with tops. And the good thing is there's metal under there. It's a beautiful transition. I mean, it's cold here today, so it's going to be a bit before all this shapes up. And then these are, the Velcro stuff that's supposed to wrap around. And I don't think I'm going to, probably just don't even need that if I pull it tight enough. Now, obviously, it's long. Kind of covers up my back window. But trim these off, cap them, and it'll come right over the end here. I think I can work with this. Yeah. Now I got it held down with bungees. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comments. Should I just, get this bikini top on here? I mean, these might turn out to be a positive, but they're going to get in the way of the door. And I have to put Velcro on the metal. That glue stuff's not going to stick. So this really isn't an option. Okay. Those edge trims can be removed. But I think it looks like it used to. It's a bikini top. So let me know in the comments what you think. Is this really the best option? It's also has form and function. First of all, it looks better than that metal piece, that's for sure. It's not going to add any rust. The gasket's going to continue doing what the gasket's going to do. So if any water gets in there, and I never got water through that, by the way. But if I did, the gasket's still going to give me protection I'm looking for. Oh, yeah. I have a sewing machine. Not like your mother's sewing machine. No, this can run a number 20 sewing needle. It's not belt driven, it's gear driven. And if my finger's under the needle, it'll sew the fabric through my finger, and my finger and the fabric will be one. That's how hard it hits. I can go through leather, vinyl, those vinyl windows, 3/8 inch thick. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, if you have any other ideas on how to deal with this window gap coverage, let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. Anything you got to add to it, or if you like the soft top option over that piece of metal. So we're not going to work on the top anymore. In fact, this cab is at a state of standstill because I'm still waiting for stuff to come in. And we're also in the, into the details arena. And so I started looking at that. I need to get the seats in because, you saw they interfered with the door pocket map thing and the striker bolt. So I need to work on that. But before I worked on that, I realized I have this wire to deal with. This is for the tail lights and the sending in it. Darn, I had to drill a hole. Inch and a half hole back here. And then I realized this grommet is kind of loose. So I'll deal with that. Probably just get a new grommet. One's old, but I did mic it and everything. Said 1.5 inch holes what I wanted, so I'll just buy a grommet for 1.5 inch hole and go with that. But I need to secure this wire, and the old stuff you would tuck under here, and then it had a little bendy tab, and you literally just bend that tab over, and it would hold this wire in place. So we got some sheet metal, bought this, made these, and I'm going to go ahead and just tack them in some spots and make this bendy tab thing work. I don't know what you call it. That's just the way it was. And if you want to take the wire out, you just bend the tabs out. But now I'm bending it with my fingers. I should probably grind off the corners. Then I'll weld them in. Come on, Welder. Figured I'd get that done before I put the seat in, because the seat's in. Well, it's going to be in the way, and I'll take it out anyways to do this. So, order of operations important. But anyways, there's the bendy tab right there, and that's going to hold the cable in. One in here, and then I got like 4 right here. So, got that done. And now I need to go pull the brackets off the bottom of the seat and bolt them in and figure out how to slide it eastward. Be right back. Alright, so I got this one tack welded, offset from the original mounts. Now I need to put it on the seat and get the other side lined up. We got a tacky tack. So about 1.25 inches. Not too bad. Okay, just put the seat back in and do a check fit before I send her home on welding. Look at that. Look at that seat, headrest all the way to the back of the cab almost. And I think I can go back just one more click. Oh, look at that. You can go all the way and hit the cab. Plenty of room here. And let's see what happens. I shut the door. Doesn't sound like a fairly good shut. Put you inside. Well, looky here. Not even touching it. I got almost a finger width. Can do that. All right, passenger side. Get the first bracket tacked in place. Hey, once I turn the thing on, there we go. Right in the hole. There we go. Get the next one set. Just some 1-inch angle. I cut it 2.5 inches long, and then I drilled a hole in it of the appropriate size. Don't move yet. All right, that's 3. All right, so on this last one, I just made the hole slightly bigger because there's an offset from this piece. And there's enough flex in here, I think that it's going to work. So, hold your eyeballs. Well, got the seat in there. Put some light because it's really dark. And you can see there's my hand. somewhere there. And there's the pocket. Clears that just fine. Over here. Striker's way over there. So yeah, we got some clearance. Look at this. Yeah. Striker. I can put my hand in there. And yeah, I actually put my hand between this and the seat now. Oh my God, this is so relaxing. These seats be able to come back as far, and I put the headrest up. So, man, if I was passenger, I could sleep right here. That's a first, if it's quiet enough. Anyways, still, there's my width of my hand, a little under that, probably 6-7 inches at the front, and a really big back here. I can't even touch the seat, so there's plenty of room between the seats here for whatever I decide I want to do. There's the driver's seat. Yeah. And let's grab the door. Oh yeah. Plenty of room. I'm not up against the door. And something I've never been able to do in my Jeep. Roll up a window. Yeah, you're all like, big deal. When you never had a hardtop or a door ever in 33 years, it's big. It's real big. Wow. In this metal roof, you can stick anything with a magnet. Hey. Cool. Yeah, give me all kinds of ideas. It's pretty dark in here, so I'm definitely going to need like some sort of light. But I think for this video, kind of come to an end. I'm waiting for parts, and probably the next one we start on taking the axle out and moving it back, adding some frame on there, all that stuff. But, well, I really appreciate y'all watching this. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It really motivates me to keep going. I mean, I don't get paid to do any of this. I'm just doing it because it's a lot of fun. And sometimes doing the video, you get a little discouraged because it's a lot of work when you do it by yourself. If I had somebody video, and that'd be awesome. But please like and subscribe. And like I say, there's a lot more content coming up here. And I think, but the big thing everybody's waiting for is stretching the wheelbase. And that's what's next. Wheelbase stretch. Be there. Anyways, I'm done.